In the headlines, Kwankwaso to address Chatham House after INEC chairman's appearance. Federal government says lecturers freed from bondage as KONOA gets full registration. Senate urges executive to expedite action on 23.7 trillion naira loans. And on the international scene, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi says M23 rebels have not withdrawn as agreed. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Hello and welcome once again. The presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, is scheduled to make a live appearance at Chatham House in London on Wednesday. Kwankwaso will speak on the topic Nigeria's 2023 elections, service delivery and policy alternatives at the International Policy Institute by 2 p.m. The NNPP candidate is expected to discuss his policy ideas from improving systems and services with a particular focus on the country's education sector and the wider priorities for ensuring secure and inclusive service delivery. Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC Bola Tinubu, Labour Party Peter Obi, as well as INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu have earlier appeared at the Policy Think Tank Institute. Also, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, on Tuesday said there is no plan to postpone this year's election in the country, despite identified challenges. Yakubu, who addressed a global policy think tank, the Chatham House, says though conducting the election for about 93.4 million people, registered voters is a daunting task, the Commission is ready to surmount such difficulty. Yakubu enumerated challenges that could undermine the election to include insecurity, attack on the Commission's facilities, among others, just as he acknowledged lessons learned from the previous elections and the task associated with the deployment of technology to enhance the process.
Elections in Nigeria have become events that attract extensive international attention and concern, not only because of the sheer size of the deployment, but also because of the importance of Nigeria in Africa, and most particularly in the West Africa sub-region. Understandably, therefore, there are enormous expectations, both within Nigeria and internationally, about the conduct and management of the 2023 general election. The expectations place a great responsibility on the election management body, the Independent National Electoral Commission. We are not taking these responsibilities lightly. We appreciate that there are challenges and concerns, but we also realize that there is enormous goodwill and support, both in Nigeria and beyond. Consequently, we believe that by forthrightly sharing our experiences and discussing the challenges openly, we can surmount the challenges and ensure that our elections in Nigeria continue to get better.
The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has charged the people of Kwara State to vote for the All Progressive Congress and himself in the coming general elections in order to cement the freedom from exploitation they achieved 4 years ago. Tinubu gave the charge at the Kwara APC rally held at the Metropolitan Square in Ilorin, the state capital. Take a look at this report.
Speaking at the rally, Tinubu told people that they had been enjoying progress under the leadership of Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak and urged them to remain committed to the administration. The presidential candidate is asking the people of Kwara State to cement their freedom by voting the APC in the coming elections. He added that the APC broom as one that symbolizes freedom.
Freedom 4 years ago.
Tinubu promised to faithfully implement his 16-point agenda if elected as Nigeria's president. In his remarks, the Kwara State Governor, Abdurrahman Abdurazak, commended the people of the state for their overwhelming support for Tinubu. He urged them to translate the love into votes on election day, adding that the APC administration has done well for Nigerians in spite of the global economic meltdown, COVID-19, and other internal challenges.
President Muhammadu Buhari has done exceedingly well. We need to build on his success. No person could have done what he has done, despite the economic downturn, despite COVID-19, despite the difficult crisis. We have survived, sustained growth consistently.
We are proud of herself and the president and all the laudable achievements they've been achieving. Nigerian women are youth and no doubt in a better situation. We thank the governor of Kwara State for giving women a voice. Abi, all the women are doing very well in Kwara. Abi?
Earlier, the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, appreciated the people of Kwara State for their support so far and urged them to solidify the support by voting all candidates of the party in the next general election. The event was attended by APC members and Kwarans across the 16 local government areas of the state.
Also, the People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has called on voters in Ekiti to vote for the PDP and defend their votes from every anti-democratic force bedeviling Nigeria today. Abubakar also condemned those he called enemies of progress for attempting to thwart the presidential rally by creating artificial fuel scarcity, and those who urged transporters to withdraw their services by creating hardship for the people. Atiku assured that if they vote the PDP into power, they would ensure the provision of basic amenities that will make life easy for them and Nigerians as a whole.
If you vote PDP into power next month, the way you have made us happy today, we will also make you happy in Ekiti State. We will go out of our way to provide everything that you want us to provide. Some people are talking about the road from here to Akure. We will do it. Yay! Not only that one, all the roads that connect you to other states, we shall construct them. Ekiti State is a center of intellectual discourse. You have more educated people in this state than any other state in the country. I can assure you that a PDP federal government will make use of the human capital that God has endowed you in Ekiti. It is your God-given gift. And we shall utilize that human resources that God has given you. Besides, we want to make sure that particularly our young men and women have businesses to do, have sources of income. That is why I pledge to set aside $10 billion so that those young men and women who want to get involved in enterprises will be given loans and capital so that they can achieve their lifetime ambitions.
Away from politics, the federal government says it has put all security agencies on alert to protect all members of the Congress of University Academics, CONUA, across Nigerian universities from any attacks that may arise from members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, who disclosed this to journalists shortly after a closed-door meeting with the leadership of CONUA led by its president, Niyi Sumunu, also warned the union not to behave like the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. Ngige finalized the registration of the two newly registered unions by formally presenting Official Gazette, Trade Dispute Act and the official certificate of registration to their leaders. He charged the unions to operate fully across universities in the country without fear of intimidation, saying that the government took the decision because of the damages done to the university system by ASU. It would be recalled that an internal memo had during the weekend emerged from the office of the Accountant General of the Federation requesting details of all members of the union for onward payment of their withheld salaries. Also, troops of Operation Forest Sanity have neutralized 2 bandits and cleared several of their hideouts in the Chikum local government area of Kaduna State. This was disclosed in a statement on Tuesday by the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan. The commissioner said the troops achieved the breakthrough during fighting patrols along the Kaboresha Rijana Forest, Kuzo Kujeni Gwanto Kachia axis. According to the commissioner, the troops set up an ambush position along the Gwanto-Kwaso road and thereafter engaged the bandits approaching the location on motorcycles. During the process, the troops killed the 2 bandits and recovered 3 motorcycles. The troops also raided bandits' camps in the Katura Rijana general area, during which the bandits fled into the forest on sighting the troops, who then destroyed the camps and recovered 3 motorcycles. Other items recovered include several sets of military uniforms and bandoliers. While assuring residents that the onslaught against bandits was in progress, the commissioner appealed to the public to continue to volunteer useful information. Also, the parish priest of St. George's Catholic Church, Omu-Ekiti, Ekiti State, Reverend Father Michael Olofinlade, who was abducted on Saturday, has regained his freedom. The Owajumu of Omu-Ekiti, Oba Adeyeye Ogundeyi, disclosed this to journalists on Tuesday in Omu-Ekiti. Oba Ogundeyi said Father Olofinlade was sighted along Itakbaji Ekiti Road after he was released by his abductors. He said the priest was currently receiving treatment in an undisclosed hospital in Ekiti State. The priest was kidnapped on January 14, 2023, while returning to his base in Omu-Ekiti after a pastoral assignment in Ado-Ekiti. However, the police did not make any statement regarding his release or whether a ransom was paid before he was freed. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how to survive the long wait in January. Please stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
The FCT administration has observed an increase in the influx of street beggars into the city and metropolis. When you give alms directly to street beggars, you encourage this unwholesome practice with its attendant risks to all. Remember, street begging remains banned in the FCT. Residents are encouraged to channel their alms through recognized channels as the churches, mosques and orphanages, a better approach which still guarantees the reward of your kind gesture, as neither Islam nor Christianity encourages begging. This way, we can rid the city of this menace. To keep Abuja safe is our collective responsibility. Play your part. This message is from the FCT administration.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, you're watching News Update on Trust TV. Now a recap of our top stories. Earlier we told you Kwankwaso to address Chatham House after INEC chairman's appearance. And federal government says lecturers freed from bondage as Konwa gets full registration. To other news now, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has appointed Iyabo Yerima as the new acting chief judge of the state. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony, the governor pledged to work assiduously with all arms of government for the benefit of the citizenry. He expressed confidence in the new acting chief judge's ability to steer the ship of the state's judiciary. The governor then promised to reduce the infrastructural deficit in the sector. He said his administration will ensure that all arms of government work independently without interference, as well as ensure speedy dispensation of justice.
So before I conclude this brief remark, let me again reaffirm our administration's commitment to continue to work with all other arms of government to ensure a system of governance in Oyo State that is working. So aside from collaboration between the Ministry of Justice and the Judiciary at the policy level, we have awarded the contract for the rehabilitation of the High Court complex at Ring Road and the Magistrate Court at Yaganko.
I give glory to God for such a time as this, and appreciate Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Dr. Oluwaseyi Abiodun FNSE, for this opportunity to serve our Pace-Setter State in this capacity. I'm not taking this place for granted. It behoves on me at this time to do my very best for the good of Oyo State. And as I stated some months back when I led the team from the judiciary to defend our 2023 budget, every resource given and allotted to the judiciary would be judiciously utilized for the benefits of justice delivery and service to the good people of Oyo State.
January is the first month of the Gregorian calendar and was named after Janus, the Roman god of all beginnings. True to its name, the month represents the beginning of the new year and believed to be one of, if not the most difficult month of the year. This is because the monthly salary cycle from December of the previous year to January of the next year is nothing like the rest of the months due to the high level of spending during Christmas and the new year. In this report, Noel Sampson gets the reaction of Nigerians concerning the last 2 weeks of January considered the most difficult due to the near total and in some cases total lack of money among salary earners. Here's his report.
The last 2 weeks of January are usually characterized by hardship among salary earners because of lack of money. This stems from expenses incurred during the Christmas and New Year breaks, where many celebrated lots of merriment that also involved travel to visit loved ones. January is also the season where school fees for the second term is paid. Hence, those who even had little to spare will have to dispose what is left for kids to return to school. This leaves many almost cashless. As the month enters its third week, survival becomes extremely difficult.
I'm not really prepared, but because we have finished everything, we have eaten all our money, and we cannot use the salary on Christmas and still use it for school fees again. It's not enough.
Money to even feed it, sometimes they had us because the salary is too small, it's too poor. Like me now, if I tell you how much I'm earning, you go surprised. As the no basic salary itself, you go surprised for my level. So I'm even think how we take get money for it. And then the school fees every day is increasing.
It's obvious that almost every January people have issues because of settlement of school fees, maybe relocation, change of paying of your rent, renewing your rent, and other activities like that. So based on that, you have little coming in, and the little you have, you want to share it among the ones you give much priority to, like the school fees, accommodation, and perhaps some health issues. So it's not always easy for the common man in Nigeria.
However, some are not even bothered about the hardship that comes with the month, as they are blessed or prudent enough to make provision for the month.
This January, we are managing with God now. It's God that is sustaining us. That is the issue. I believe Though me, I did not travel, but I was able to manage. I reserve what I will manage in this January. I didn't travel, so that's what is sustaining me now.
Not for we the business owners. It's for the salary earners. You know, the way you plan your December to affect your January, either directly or indirectly. If you plan your December very well, you will enjoy January. If you spend lavishly in December, you will complain in January. So it's all about planning.
Lack of proper planning and excessive spending during Christmas and New Year celebrations have been attributed to the hardship experienced during January. Hence, people have been advised to be prudent during Christmas periods. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Thanks to Noel Samson for that report on surviving January. Away from that, a Lagos-based legal practitioner, Omo Bolanle Rahim, who was allegedly shot dead by an assistant superintendent of police, Drambi Vandi, has been laid to rest. Bolanle was murdered on the 25th of December 2022 in the Ajah area of Lagos State while on her way from church. Take a look.
The family of the 41-year-old lawyer, amidst tears, buried Bolanle at the Vault and Garden Cemetery in the Bejuleki area of Lagos State after a funeral service was held at the church where the family worshipped before her death. On Monday, 16th of January 2022, a service of songs was held in her honor at her place of worship, Olive Tree Parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God at Banana Island in Ikoyi area of Lagos State.
The first part, whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, there will my servant be also. I'm sure you will agree with me that our sister Bolanle has followed the example of Jesus Christ. Some of us may say far too closely and won't be wrong, because she has followed him in life, she has followed him in death. There are so many parallels between her life and the life of our Savior.
Meanwhile, the alleged murder suspect, Inspector Drambi Vandi, has been arraigned before Justice Ibironke Olatubosun Harrison of the Lagos State High Court Annex at Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos Island. The officer also pleaded not guilty to a one-count charge of murder preferred against him by the state government. The Attorney General of the Lagos State and Commissioner for Justice, Moesore Onigbanjo, who is also the lead prosecuting counsel on the case, in an interview with journalists on Monday at the court, said the state is ready to commence trial as the state has 7 witnesses that will testify against the accused.
Well, there you have it. May the soul of the dearly departed rest in peace. Away from that, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has advised the executive to expedite action on the request by the Senate Ad Hoc Committee working on 23.7 trillion naira ways and means secured from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for the last 10 years. The appeal, according to Ahmed, has become necessary as the absence of the finance minister and the central bank governor has hampered the work of the Ad Hoc Committee headed by the leader of the Senate, Ibrahim Gobir. According to the Senate leader, the team is yet to receive communication to enable them commence legislative work, especially as the National Assembly, according to the Senate President, plans to adjourn next week for the election. Senator Gobir therefore requested to be given a 3-day extension to conclude work on the request.
For the Minister of Finance, because there are 2 of them, the Minister of Finance and also the Governor of Central Bank, because these are the 2 people that we believe can give us the information that we require so that we can do justice to to our assignment. Now, unfortunately, in the process, after asking a lot of questions, because we sent about 6 questions to the Minister of Finance and about 5 to the CBN Governor, but unfortunately, we were not able to get the information that we are looking for. Why? Because the 2 of them were out of town. And therefore, it's going to be difficult for our committee to set up. It was difficult for our committee to come up with the report.
Appeal to us that we accept the request of the committee, the special committee, to have an extension of 3 days But let me also advise the executive arm of government. The Ways and Means request for approval before the Senate is a serious issue. The National Assembly or the Senate is prepared to consider the request, but we must have the necessary information because we want to be guided. We don't want to just do things that we don't understand. So it's for the executive arm of government to expedite action, and I imagine that this is not supposed to be a difficult thing to do. All that we are asking for, send the documents authorizing either the approval that was gotten and the document authorizing the disbursements. Send them to our committee, special committee. If you can today, we work on it tomorrow.
On the international scene, Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi on Tuesday said the M23 rebel group had not fully withdrawn from areas it seized in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, accusing the militia of faking an agreed pullback of its forces. Regional leaders brokered an agreement in November under which the Tutsi-led group was meant to withdraw from recently seized positions by January the 15th as part of efforts to end a conflict that has displaced at least 450,000 people and sparked a diplomatic crisis between Congo and neighboring Rwanda. Earlier in January, an internal United Nations intelligence report said it was not possible to confirm the M23's purported withdrawal from some areas due to continued signs of troop movement, and its analysis indicated the group had seized new territory elsewhere. The Congolese president again accused Rwanda of fueling the conflict by supporting the rebels, an accusation leveled also by Western powers and UN experts. However, Rwanda firmly denies this. Several civil society organizations have called for a demonstration on Wednesday in the provincial capital, Goma, to protest delays in implementing the M23 withdrawal, although the city authorities have not authorized the march. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all of our media channels. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.